how are you? It's Wednesday. It's hump day. We're halfway there. First part of the week out of the way. We are looking toward the weekend and not too long. Now, I wanted to share something with you on After the Coffee, and I'm cheating a little bit because this was not a Cup of Joe episode, although it may be in the future. I had a friend and client of mine call me up, Linda, and she says, Dave, I'm having a hard time. I have to give an employee some very painful feedback. And she's very sensitive. I'm not sure how she's going to take it. And I'm dreading it. And I said, you know what? Welcome to the rest of us in leadership. You know, when we have what we feel is bad news, or we're concerned about an employee will take feedback poorly, it doesn't make us feel good because it's our responsibility and we have to do it. That's that courage element of leadership. But then I asked her, Linda, what happened? And she says, well, you know, I gave her some information about a design that a client wanted and the specific colors that design needed to be. And the client, and she sent it off to the client, and the client called me up today and said, hey, what happened? The design is fine, but the colors are all wrong. You know, we need this as quickly as possible. I said, okay. So how did you communicate that information to, your team member? And she said, well, I told her we had a meeting one-on-one like we do every week. And I gave her the specifics. And I asked, well, did she write it down? And she goes, well, she was writing stuff down, but apparently she didn't write this down. I understand. Is this the first time this has happened? She says, no. She doesn't listen very well. It's happened a few times. You're the leader. You've got to change, not her. I mean, there may be other opportunities to identify that she needs to listen better. Granted, but you're the leader. You're responsible for that failure, not her. You need to write down, send it off in an email, or even have a Google sheet with all the criteria of design, whatever, and check off the boxes and write in the details so that there is no dispute. She has all the information that she needs. It's specific to her needs, and you have something to go back to in case then there is a problem. Yeah. Some of you are not liking this. I get it, because we can always place the blame on our team members. Always. But we know that that doesn't make a good leader. Good leaders understand that they are fundamentally responsible for their people. And when their people make a mistake, then we've got to create ideas around how to make it right. Now, when I give feedback to one of my team members, I don't sit across from them from my desk. That's adversarial positioning. When they come in, I greet them, usually ask, would you like something to drink? No alcohol though, right? Water, coffee, the usual office fare. And then have them sit down at this round table that I have across from my desk, and we sit side by side, because that dynamic creates partnership. We're in this together. And I want to show that both in physicality and in my dialogue. So I always sit side by side and say, hey, look, here's the problem. Out here. Not next to you and me, it's out here. Let's talk about that problem, because then it doesn't take a personal attack. I'm not taking a personal position. If I was opposite this individual behind my desk and say, you're doing it wrong. You made a mistake. You messed up. How do you think they're going to leave that office? All motivated to do better next time? I don't think so. So we sit side by side and we say, look, you and I are good. We're good. The problem is out here. Let's look at that problem and let's talk about what we could do differently to ensure that that problem doesn't happen again. See how that works? I know it's strange. I know but it's less uncomfortable than having that blame thing and then sending a team member out feeling like they don't they don't matter or you don't appreciate them or whatever, right? The world is changing. The new generations are moving up. Yes, they are more sensitive. Yes, they don't have the thick skin that we had. Okay. So what? Now what? We have to position ourselves differently now in these times, in this day and age. We have to change leadership styles. I mean, we all know, hopefully we all know, if we look back, we knew that the autocratic my way or the highway type of leader, or should I call them a boss, was wrong. We all knew that intuitively. Knowing that intuitively, we have to recreate that role of leadership to a new application, a new world, a new set of team members. And we want to do what's going to be most productive and what's going to continue to build positive relationships. And like anything new, it takes time. We're going to make mistakes. We've got to catch ourselves in those mistakes. In the beginning, we're going to catch ourselves after we've already made the mistake. That's how it works. But after a while, as long as we keep these perspectives fresh in our mind, after a while, we'll hear ourselves say it and say, you know what, that didn't sound right. We'll correct ourselves, self-correct right there. And then in the future, we'll anticipate how we want to communicate a message. And so we begin to behave in the new leadership way, the new habit. I hope that's helpful because I get a lot of emails from folks saying, look, I have a really difficult time giving bad feedback, or not non-positive feedback, whatever you want to call it. And I get it. It's very hard. And there will be times where that will be necessary. But we've got to look at ourselves first and say, what role did I play or what role did I fail to play that may have caused this to happen? Do that first, because that conversation side by side and saying, well, what do we say? Great leaders, we give the praise to our team. We take responsibility ourselves. It's a thankless job. Well, sometimes it's a tough job, but it's worth it because we have an impact. We have an impact that changes the lives of our team members and our organizations. So think about that. Think about the next time you've got to give difficult feedback, go through that process of what role did I play? Where did I fail? And bring them in and have them sit side by side, which is not easy when you have a remote employee. We have to try. Oftentimes when I have a hybrid employee, I wait until they're in the office and we sit side by side and have a conversation. And most of them are usually in at least a couple days out of the week. But you can't let it go by. You can't let it slip and not say anything and then sandbag them when it comes time to give them, regular feedback because I can't change it. Why are you telling me now? That was 3 months ago. How many times could I have made that mistake without getting that feedback? So we've got to keep that in mind. And that's after the coffee. I hope you have a great next couple days. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you Monday. You got it, at the coffee shop for Monday Morning Cup of Joe. Take care.